Hi everyone, as you probably can expect and have predicted already, I will be making another tier list today. Today we're gonna talk about songs from the country of Montenegro in Eurovision since their debut, which was in 2007, up until today. But I've actually made a little bit of an adjustment for this video because maybe most of you are familiar that the country of Serbia and Montenegro participated twice in Eurovision before Serbia and Montenegro split. And I know that one of them kind of represented Serbia and one of them kind of represented Montenegro back in the day. So I've decided to split them up and include them in the tier lists. I hope that's fine with everyone out there. That's just the way I've decided to do it because I feel like that's fair. Instead of me just making one video where I cover two Serbia and Montenegro entries, I decided to put them into their separate representative countries tier list. So we have the entry from 2005 here from Serbia and Montenegro, which I decided to include in today's tier list. And while we're on the subject, we're just gonna get right into dragging this all the way up to the top. Because Cauvek Moja, which this song is called, is one of those songs that just really is its complete own thing, and I'm all for it. Throughout the entire runtime, I am hooked from second one until the final note has been finished and the ending pose is all is all performed and everything. I think there's like a lot of kind of things about this song that might like create a divide between people in what to think of it, because it is a very own type of listening experience. It doesn't really sound like much other music that I've ever heard, but I just like the whole kind of grandness of it. There's like an epic tone trying to really establish the atmosphere throughout the entire song. There's this opening with the very heavy drumming that I think really sets the tone. It's a very dramatically, what do you say, like staged layout on stage, and how the choreography keeps going throughout the song. It's a very hectic kind of performance, which I think suits the song incredibly well, because the song has a lot of just wild ideas being thrown in here and there. There's a lot of harmonies being pulled off with vocally. There's some string arrangements which are really quite awesome, in my opinion. I love the inputs of them. There is a hook in this song which I think is really, really tangible. I love the melody of it, but I particularly love just how the whole vocal arrangement really works in combination with the backing track, because I think the backing track is incredibly atmospheric and just so well put together. I mean, maybe it speaks more to me as a listener because I'm so not used to music like it, but I think just the whole tone and the vibe, like the atmosphere of the song, is just so foreign to me that I can't help but just get really dragged into it. And I love that kind of grandness and just enigmatic tone in the backing track throughout. It just really works for me to really connect with me as a listener. And then you have this incredible vocal hook for the chorus. There are nice flowing melodies in the verses. And then you also have this performance, which I absolutely love. There's like a constant purpose and a storytelling within the performance as well, not just vocally or lyrically. It's the whole performance. It's all a part of the same package. And I think that just the detailing in every little area is just so complete here. Um, yeah, I don't like, it's not that often that I see people actually talk about this song. And I mean, I can kind of get that, but I just think it's one of those songs that, I mean, you can't really just see it as a song that just passes by and you haven't really taken note of it, because it stands out, I really must say. And yeah, for me personally, it's just up in the top tier. It's one of my all-time favorites. And I don't think we will be seeing many more of those in today's tier list, unfortunately. I think Montenegro have kind of um, not really matched that effort until today. But we're just gonna start here then with 2007, which was their official debut as an own country, or an own representative, and it's Aide Croci, which I don't really have much to say about. I always just have this vocal hook. I mean, it can get stuck in my head, but that's really all about the song that really gets stuck in my head. Quite a lackluster performance. The verses aren't too great. Yeah, it's not for me. I don't really get much of it. It's like this kind of it's a very rocky vibe in the song, but it's too uninteresting for me. I don't think there's a lot of drive. The energy isn't quite there. It's very static and straight on the beat, and not with a lot of energy, which kind of just kills rock music for me personally. I can't really get into it, even though the vocal hook has a way of just imprinting itself in my head. Człowiek Volinte. I think this one has a similar maybe issue, but I think the chorus of this one is slightly more memorable, and I like the backing track a little bit more. I think it's a very pleasant soundstage in it. So I do want to put it up in the I like it but category because I think the instrumentation here has something. It's a very soft tone, but it also has like a little bit of that rock inspiration, which I kind of like. And I think the chorus has a nice melody and just a nice kind of groove to it. But the verses here are as well not very interesting to me. But yeah, I would want to put it up here actually because I think there's something in here. In 2009, oh, sorry, I'm hitting things here. In 2009, we had the song Just Get Out of My Life. Perhaps hasn't aged the best, but I mean, it is 2009, and it is, it's a solid effort from Montenegro, I think. It's just that it's not really particularly my type of song or my type of performance, definitely. I can't really get along with that. But I think there are parts of the song. I think the chorus is very memorable. Like certainly, if you've heard it once, then you can hear it in your head again afterwards. And I also like the little string arrangements within the song. It's very hot stuff-esque, I guess. It always just reminds me of that. But there's like some energy in the song. I like those string inputs. And even though it's not really my thing overall, I think there are enough qualities. I want to put it in solid. I think it's solid enough. Yeah. I don't know what to do with this. Ramba Amadeus, Evro Nevro. I mean, I completely love it. I'm so sorry. Like, it's just something so absurd and so its own thing that you can't really compare it to anything. It's a very big what happened here moment, but I just kind of love everything about it. It's just done with the exact right approach. It's just so like it's satire, and it's also that kind of satire that it knows how bad it is, but it still just wants to go all the way with what it wants to do. I kind of just admire everything about it. It's just so absurd. Always stay cool like a swimming pool. It's my God. I actually do really, really like Evro Nevro. I can never get enough of this performance as well. It's just so much fun. I have no idea where to put this. Honestly, we're gonna put it in the what happened here category, but like, I can't with a straight face sit here and place it in like a really great or fantastic category. Actually, I will. Really great. Because it does exactly what it wants to do. It's horrendous in most aspects, but I mean, I can't help but just really, really like it. I'm so sorry. But you gotta appreciate the Rambo Amadeus of this world. It's just the way it is. Let's move on. You can completely slate me for this. It's completely fine. Igranka. This is it's also quite absurd, honestly. The space suits and the intense light show and the dubstep chorus, the vocal chops, everything is just kind of a mess, but it's a bit of a cohesive mess. It's a mess with a purpose, and it's quite fun. It's very catchy as well. I don't know. Solid, I guess. Montenegro really has a tendency of sending a few absurd things here and there, which it's just, yeah. I'll put it in here. I think there's a hook here. I think the performance is very fun. I kind of like, even though the spacesuits are so absurd, like of an idea, it's still a lot of fun. I'm not really very sold on the rapping. I think it's quite poor, in all honesty. I'm sorry, but I mean, the song is just such a piece of wonder. I'm not really sure how to really engage with the song at all, but it's just sit back and kind of let them do their thing, and then afterwards you can kind of feel like, oh yeah, okay, so that's what they wanted to do. Cool. I don't really have much else to say about it. I think it's a solid effort still. 2014, Moi Sviet. This is a pretty ballad. I like the performance of it. It's very just kind of simplistic in many aspects, but it's just really pleasant at the same time. Great vocal performance, very well staged. The song has a great flow. There's like this instrumental section in the song which I really like with the instrumentation. Really great. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think it's a really great effort. And the year that came after it, they kind of just went the extra step with this one because Adio is. I think this is actually fantastic. I'm gonna put it up there. Every time I think of the song, I think of it like as the weakest out of Zelko's efforts in Eurovision. But whenever I watch it and listen to it, I mean that's not saying much because all of them are bloody brilliant. And I especially love the section towards the end where the whole chanting vocal style comes in. The choreography is really well put together, and the backing track also has this drive. Like the drumming picks up. It's quite enigmatic in that sense. I really just enjoy it. It really sets a tone. It keeps driving itself forward, which I think is very strong. Great vocal performance. Love the opening of how scaled back and like the song becomes very dynamic as it progresses because of the different instrumentation approaches throughout. It's a very nice arrangement, as with all of the Zelko efforts in Eurovision. But this one, I really, really enjoy it. I love a lot of things about it, and every time I watch it and listen to it, I just kind of get reminded of how much I really do enjoy it. Um, so yeah, I'd say fantastic. Then we have the real thing. It's just not for me. I mean, it's rock music, which should be for me, but this song doesn't really have a very straight to the point of the melody. I think the melody is quite poor. It's very dragged out, quite monotonous. The guitar riffs are maybe the first time you hear them, you're kind of like, oh, this has some drive in it, but then it doesn't really have that memorability of a guitar riff that really tries to connect with the audience. I'm kind of not really vibing with the guitar riff because I don't think it's very memorable, which is a shame. I don't really think the drive is all there with the drumming side of things. It's a bit of a letdown just for being a rock song. The performance is way too dark as well. Like you can't see anything. Yeah, I can't. It's not my type of rock music. I need something more melodically engaging, I think. Either that or something more like hectic rhythmically. This one doesn't really have either, so I'll put it down here. Then we have, I think the song is called Space. I just call it the Slavko song, where he's swinging his tail thing. Do you call it a ponytail when it looks like that? I don't know. It's absurd. The song is like there's a catchy hook in it. It has some solid production quality, I think. It's very upbeat. It's very memorable, and he makes it even more memorable for sure. At the same time, it also feels incredibly amateurish when you see him on stage, but I guess that's part of the charm. I don't know what to make of it. It's I really don't know. I think we're gonna put Slavko in the I like it but category because I actually quite like the charm of it, or maybe I don't. I'm complete. I don't really have. I haven't made my mind up on what I think about this song. We'll just put it here. It's absurd. You all know it's absurd, but it's that charming kind of absurd that I still kind of like something about it. But when I look at it from an overall package, I just think that it's wow. Then it's more close to the what happened here category in all honesty. But it's charming. I'll give it that. So I'll keep it down there. Then we have India, which is a quite a non-memorable ballad, unfortunately. Um, it has, it has that kind of drive that it really wants to become a power ballad towards the end. I just don't really think the execution of it is there. The arrangement isn't quite strong enough. Um, it's admirable how they've tried. It kind of feels like they tried to make a Dio again, but more on the maybe the like a ballad focused version. Um, but it's not really too interesting. I always kind of forget about it. I think the song is simply too slow as well. It doesn't really pick up in energy at all throughout. It's a bit too draggy, a bit too slow. Chorus doesn't really have a memorable melody. Not for me, sorry. Um, and then we have Heaven. Yeah, what happened here? I don't know. This is just so not good on any level. It feels so, especially like it still competed in 2019, and I think that's the main major setback. Like the performance is so amateurish. It's unfortunate, but it doesn't really look very polished at all. The song has a very messy execution. The production quality of it is quite subpar, even though it tries to incorporate like some more authentic instruments in there, and there are parts of the song which I think have good instrumentation. I think the production just kind of kills it. The vocals are a bit all over the place. It's not maybe not a song that was best suited to have, what are they, like 5 or 6 different vocalists singing together. It creates that kind of sing-along feeling, but it's simply I don't really think it works here. It's not that kind of hook that kind of invites everyone to sing along. I don't know. It's a very descending type of hook. It doesn't really have any kind of exciting aspect in it, which just kind of kills the whole point of trying to make something sing-along friendly. And the performance, as I said, I don't like it. I think it looks just very odd and very, yeah, a bit amateurish. I'm sorry to use that word, but it's really the vibe I'm getting. It doesn't look professional. It doesn't look polished. It's unfortunate. And then in 2022, this kind of just, the performance simply wasn't really there to back up the song. Like the song has a great kind of idea in there with the instrumentation, I think. It takes a bit too long to really get there, and I'm not really clicking with the overall song as a whole, like how it progresses and everything. I think there needs to be a little bit more energy in it throughout. It doesn't really have the most memorable melody to me either, but I like some aspects of the instrumentation, which are quite nice. But the performance just kind of made it very uninteresting because nothing really happened on stage, which, I mean, doesn't have to happen something on stage, but for a song like this, I kind of just need something to get me excited because the song never really goes that extra, like that extra mile to really reach the peak. And then when the performance doesn't really do that either, it just becomes a bit of an anticlimax, I think. I'll place it in the I like it but category. And right now, when I just look at the list, it feels so absurd to place it next to Slavko. But I'm sorry, like, if I say this, but Montenegro is a weird country in Eurovision. I can't really wrap my head around them. But they do have 2 songs which I absolutely love. One in particular, if we count it as a Montenegro song, which I'm gonna do, because the band is from Montenegro. They won the Montenegrin national final and the combined one with Serbia back in the day. So I'll consider it one, and if I do that, then Montenegro has one of my all-time favorites. So that's something. Maybe we'll get something simolar to it one day again, which would be incredible for me. I don't know. Maybe you think less of Zavjek Moja than I do, but regardless, this is the Montenegro tier list I just put together. Do tell me if there's something that you absolutely, completely disagree on. Maybe I understand if Evro might be your the big discrepancy here, but do tell me if I've completely overrated something or completely dismissed something that shouldn't be dismissed. And I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing you in another video soon. So until then, bye-bye.